Phil Mickelson got universally condemned by the sports media for negotiating with Saudi Arabia to potentially play golf in their new golf league to compete with the PGA. Everyone was furious that Phil Mickelson would even enter into discussions at all with Saudi Arabia. And indeed, Mickelson has now pulled out of the PGA Championship, which he won last year. He's not going to be there to potentially defend it. He also did not play in the Masters. These are both in part of the fallout for his comments. Yet the NBA, despite the fact that it lectures all of us on politics, and by the way, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think Phil Mickelson has ever lectured anyone on politics in my life. The NBA lectures us all on politics. It pulled its All-Star game out of Charlotte over the transgender bathroom bill. Yet the NBA is playing games in the UAE. And none of the people that are working at ESPN or working at the NBA and lectured us on this are speaking out and saying one word about the NBA playing in the UAE. So that means Phil Mickelson got crushed for talking to Saudi Arabia, even though he never lectures us on politics and even though he never actually made the decision to engage in a relationship with Saudi Arabia. Yet the NBA, which lectures us all the time on politics, which moved its own sports out of Charlotte, North Carolina over the transgender bathroom bill, and has actually entered into a partnership with the UAE, almost no one will even utter a word of criticism. How could a fair and honest and transparent sports media justify crucifying Phil Mickelson for something that they say nothing at all about that the NBA is doing? And moreover, how can ESPN, which stopped its broadcast during the NCAA women's basketball tournament to attack the what they falsely labeled the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida, even though it was only designed to keep kindergarten, first, second, third graders from being taught about sex? How in the world can ESPN justify stopping its programming during the NCAA women's basketball tournament to rip the state of Florida over its what they claimed was the Don't Say Gay bill, yet none of their talent will say a word about larger issues surrounding the UAE and the NBA? And in particular, I want to call out one of the most outspoken social justice warriors at ESPN right now, L. Duncan, who led the protest at ESPN, who stopped the game between South Carolina and Howard for a moment of silence because she was opposed to a Florida State bill that, frankly, she didn't even understand. And yet this same person who falsely labeled a parental rights bill the Don't Say Gay bill will not say a word about what's going on with the NBA and the UAE. If you are a social justice warrior who's going to speak out truth on air on ESPN, by the way, how in the world are you not willing to actually call out the NBA? Because you, my friend, and all of your colleagues who claim to be woke are hypocrites. You speak out when there's no risk to you, and you get to strut across the social media stage and claim to be so woke. But when your company has a relationship with the NBA, when you would have to speak truth to power to Adam Silver, when you would have to hold him accountable for going to the UAE, a country that punishes homosexuality with death, you don't say a word. Now, look, if corporations decide to go to countries that have different laws than the United States to make money, I don't have a problem with that. I'll give you an example. The WWE stages many events now in Saudi Arabia. I don't have a problem with that because I've never watched a WWE performance and had them lecture me about my political beliefs and what I should or should not believe. To my knowledge, the WWE has never pulled any of its events out of any American city or American state based on the politics of those cities or states. The NBA has. And when you make the decision that you are going to become a woke corporation and that you are going to embrace those particular ideals, then, my friend, you should have to be held accountable for them.